Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Tuesday the 8th of June. Just on the daily chart here, coming back to the COVID low. We've been as you can see here, for starters, we're not finished this trend. While everyone's printing money, assets are going to continue to rise. So we'll don't fight the Fed, don't fight the ECB, whatever. So yeah, I just want to talk about this count for a second. So I don't have a problem with wave 1 and 2, and I don't think many other people would as well. Okay, so from wave 2 we're going up into wave 3 here, then wave 4, and then wave 5. That's the way that I see it. So this trend going from this low here, we're counting 5 waves up. For this wave 3 here, it's from wave 2 to wave 3. We're looking for 5 waves in that structure, as 1 and 2 here, and 3, 4, and 5. Now it doesn't have to go that high. Should just bring it down into reality a little bit. And so from wave 1 and 2 here, going up for wave 3, 4, and 5 here. I'm just going to dull this one out a little bit, because this wave 3 here, it just depends on how you count this first leg here. If you put this wave 1, copy that for a moment and put it here, then it would obviously change the count, and that I need to go back over. I need to basically go back over and figure out that is the orange wave 1 on this high here for that. And then we'd have wave 2, and then we'd be going into this wave 3 at this point, and then 4 and 5 for 3 and 4 and so on. So yeah, that's one of the things. The other little thing here, of course, which we could also look to understand, is that if this is the length of wave 1, just roughly speaking, and we move that over to here, then typically we'd want this wave 3, this intermediate wave 3 here, we would want it longer than wave 1 here. So that's why I think that I may have the right count with the 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then we've got this nice third wave here. It fits in really quite nicely. So when you've got the extension in the third wave here, that normally leaves wave 1 here and wave 5 being roughly the same length. Just a rule of thumb, it doesn't have to be exact, but you just kind of see it like that. So we're trying to understand the end of this trend here. That's one thing. And the other point that I need to make is, like, do I have this wave 3 or this wave 3? Not that it really matters at this point in time, but I just want to point out what I have done and what I haven't done. So that's that. So we're going to go in now, and this move from here going up through here, I've got 2 counts for that, both bullish, which is one positive thing. So I'll just cut straight through the 4-hour chart. So picking it up from this wave 4 here, we could count it as, because we need to tie it into the S&P and so on, but still both are valid, but wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3 and 4 here, and then going up for wave 5. And going up for wave 5, we look for 5 waves. So we can look at this as being 1 and 2 and 3, A, B, C for 4, and then going up for wave 5 here. So we can have a closer look at that in a moment. And then finishing, so we could say we're going to get a reaction at the 15,800 anyway, okay, because of the 800. We always call 8 the third strongest number and a profit-taking number, so it will be hit from there. So the question will be, will the market be able to climb higher from that point? Now obviously there's we can put it into this triangle pattern and all that sort of stuff, but it's not like it's ending in three wave structures for these guys. They're in 5 waves. So this here is probably not correct, but at the same time I won't throw it out just yet, because if we're going to go higher, we won't miss anything anyway, because we're going to get a reaction at the 800, and then if we get the the classic trading levels pattern or some version of it here, then we'll be able to go sort of long again at this point. So we couldn't go long here. Then this one here was an overshoot pattern. So the distance above it goes is normally the distance below, probably went a bit lower. But then it came up and got, you know, we had that high to work with, and we had this high here to work with, that sort of thing. So that's what we'll look for over here. And just on the hourly chart, the hourly chart has got this is wave 1 and 2 here, and then this is wave 1 and 2 here, and then building up for a third wave. And it's starting to look like a third wave. It's got that real, it's not powerful, but it's got the grind, you know. So yeah, so from this case here, we can look for wave 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 here, and then just continue to follow my little journey to the upside here for this. So I had that there, but I'll just bring that back there. Right, okay, that's why I had that there as well, because you know, if we were looking at this being this length here, then we'd want wave 3 to be, you know, this wave from wave 2 here to wave 3 here, we want that to be longer as well. So yeah, I haven't really polished this count, nailed it down yet, but I don't think it really matters that much, because we've got support on top of the levels here between, say, 15 and 16 here. We've got all the sub-levels. We've got 1, 2, 3 here, and then 5, and then 8. With 8, we talk about group 2, the 665. So in this case, 15,650, which has now got support here, because it was resistance, and now it's support. So we're in group 2, so we should stay in here, and we should edge higher. We just got to count the 5 waves, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, even there's an overlap there, so we could look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. That's all possible, but we just need to focus in on this here. There, we can certainly expect some sort of reaction from that 800 there. Okay, so we'll just basically be patiently waiting for that. If you're long at the moment, then that 15.8 is the number that you're looking for. If I'm day trading, I normally take money off at the table at the 72. This case, the 15,720. And if it becomes support, then I move back in there and trade up to the 8 and get out at that point. That's if you're just sort of scalping. But yeah, it looks like it wants to go higher. But the stopping point will be the 800 here, the 15,800 for the DAX. Have a look at the stock 50 as well. So the stock 50, I'm using the same, I've got both counts running here as well. So from wave 4 here, we've got wave 1 and 2. We can have 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, the same count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just finishing, pretty much finishing here. If that's, I mean, we've got overlapping wave structures. 4 overlaps with wave 1 here. This 4 here overlaps with this one here. So need to be a little bit, that can be 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, forget the spike, 4 and 5 here for the third. So a little bit higher for this one to go. But it's also a classic trading levels pattern as well, because we're at 100, so that's the first minor level, the arrival, the reaction, and the first high above the level. So we're looking to go a little bit higher here, but the same thing prevails here as well, in that do we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and going up for 5 and finishing here, because we're looking for tops in the S&P, or do we go a little bit higher with 1 and 2 here and then going up for 3, 4 and 5, going, you know, ending up at being higher up at this point. There's a nice accumulation process sitting across here, this sideways movement here, so that normally equals a bit of height. So we can normally take the length of this here and stand it on its head. So it looks like it wants to go higher at this point. And the Footsie, of course. So yeah, so we want to, it looks like we want to be going higher here. It was just difficult from this wave 4 here, which I could also put here as well. It was just difficult to count this up as as an impulsive structure. It was possible that it could all be some sort of ABC to this point and move down from that point, but it looks like the other markets want to climb a little bit higher, so it looks like we'll breach that. So I'll just go to the 1 hour chart here, and this was our more positive count here, but it was still a bit just depending on how you counted all of this. So yeah, it's just a little bit tricky. If I didn't know to put wave 1 over here for this, I mean, I could count 5 waves up here. It was messy as hell. Get rid of that. So yeah, look, it's shaggy and whatnot and messy, but it does have that nice support on the 15 on the 7,000 here, and it's got a nice accumulation process here for this as well. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, this looks a little bit impulsive to the downside, doesn't it? That's why if you're going to go long, we need to take this top out here for that. That would negate anything of this being impulsive down here. But this is probably an A and a B and a C wave to this point. So we could probably look at this as wave 1 and 2 here as well, looking higher. We could probably look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 1 and 2 here as well, pushing this a bit higher from that point. I'll just borrow these over here for this. But yeah, I mean, as you can see across here, it hasn't been a very nice market to work with. It's been very volatile. But for the trend trader, what you see is not what you get, right? So here we can see this correction. So the next thing that we'll see is the opposite. We'll see a trend. If we were looking at a trend, well, then we'll get the opposite and get a correction. Because we're sitting on the 7,000 here, I'd certainly want to be holding long positions rather than short positions, put it that way. So just, I don't know if we should put wave 4 here as a triangle. That was the other thing. So an A, B, C, D, and E here for the triangle pattern here. Or if this was actually just going to get even more complicated, but it looks like it wants to head up now, which is nice, but still needs to prove to us that it is strong and it is going to take this top out here. So you could also look for a classic trading level pattern here. So we've got the arrival, the reaction, so the first high above the level, and then that will be pushed down from these old highs here, of course, and we'll end up with some sort of correction here. So then you could work it at a lower point and a safer trade over here for that. So I'll get rid of that now because we just want to refine that entry. Of course it could just fail from here and move down, but this pattern here will keep us safe at that point, so that's what we'll do at that point. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it was just one other thing here that just wanted to have a quick look at. And that was, we've been looking at the mid cap here. So we can figure this out here as an ABC for wave 4 here, and we're going up here now. We've clearly got wave 1 and 2 here. I'm just not quite sure. I need to do some work. If we put wave 3 and 4 here, and then wave 5 here, we can see we've got a little bit more to go up here for that. Or we haven't gotten to wave 3 yet here. That was the other thing. So wave 3 being over here, because it doesn't look like we've had a decent wave 4 yet with this. I have gone to the tick chart a little while ago and just try to figure this out. But, so we've got our 1 and 2 here. And then I'm okay, I've got 1 and 2 all the way up for 3 and 4 here, so we're on that page for that. And then I'm starting to count this up through here. And so what I know so far is that we've got wave 1 and 2 here, which is clear. So I was just starting to pull this apart. So I've got a slightly different count on this one here. So I've still got wave 3 to go, 4 and 5, but I'm going to go back in and check all of this again. But just to let you know that I'm working on it, and that will also help as well. Yeah, maybe we need to have a look at some of the bit. I don't know the, you know, I know the some of the stocks, but if somebody wants to send me some of the larger banks that I could that have got the most weighting in this market, or whatever's got the most weighting in the mid cap here, if they're looking at them, I'll have a look at those, and we'll try and tie that wave count in with this as well. That could be helpful. So whatever the largest in the mid cap is in the financial sector. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.